Welcome to The Good with Dr. Joe.
Hello, thank you, Miss Glenda. Welcome to our podcast. It's The Good with Dr. Joe. Right now it's 12 noon Eastern. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. What's happening in London?
Rush hour.
Rush hour means 5 p.m. Welcome to our podcast, the place to get us or how to catch us. We are on Instagram every Wednesday at 12 noon. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We are on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We are all over the place. So the way to find us, just hashtag The Good with Dr. Joe. I'll be right there. And what we try to do is provide useful information to small businesses. You know, how to help you grow, how to help you survive. Some little grants here and there that will help you to make your business go to the next level. The other thing we also do is to find what is good in whatever is happening in our environment today. All right, so we started a series. That is going to lead us probably till the holidays. And this has to do with forecasting, people who do New Year resolutions. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Series on how to start a business, what to do to make sure you have a good business, and so on and so forth. So last week, look at our last week podcast. We laid the foundations. We talked about the basics of starting a business and also sustaining a business. I want to welcome Miss Glenda. I call her Glen D. Glen D because she's a small business owner with style. She has a lot of style. That's why I call her Glen D. Amanda is off today, so Glenda is here with us today. And Glenda, you remember last week we talked about some basics of businesses. Now, the reason why we talked about the basics was the very, very alarming rate of failures. If you remember, we talked about the first year, almost 20% of businesses fail in the first year. And then second year, up to 30% of businesses fail. And by the fifth year, you get as much as how many?
50.
50% of small businesses fail in 5 years. Now, let me tell you, that is statistics. And statistics don't lie. And it's also coming from the federal government agencies. SBA and IRS are in on that statistics. Okay, so we're going to tell you, when we started this series, we talked about how to start a business, how to get your name together, some of the research and background information you have to do to make sure you're in the right part and to make sure you register your business. We talked about that last time, right?
We did.
So what are you doing about registering your business?
I am still in the process of marketing.
Marketing, okay. Yes. All right. Well, marketing is good, but you want to make sure that you do your foundational research, right? Mm-hmm. To see what you need to do to get it registered. Do you know? Let me tell you about some things about registering. There was a president. I won't mention his name. Mm-hmm. After he finished from the office, he wanted to start his own library. But guess what? Somebody already registered his name. Mm-hmm. Somebody registered his name and they were asking the president for $1 million to sell their name. Can you imagine somebody take your name, register it, and then sell it to you for $1 million?
Wow.
That's your name.
That's insane.
Yes. Like your name now, Glen D. I can decide now just go ahead and register Glen D. Right? Glen D Solutions LLC. And then tomorrow you come over and say, well, actually, I'm Glenda. You call me that name first. So I'm checking my name first. I say, cool, you can have it. Just write me a check for, I won't charge you too much, $10,000. Yeah, I don't want to be crazy, greedy. I just charge you $1,000 and then you have your name back. So that is why it is very important to register. So do your research and register your name. Besides that, besides somebody stealing your name, there are other protections under the law for you when you're registered. And then number 3, you also have grants. There are a lot of grants that will come to you. In fact, there are people, there are non-profit. You know that there are people who help small businesses.
Yes.
They go through the database of companies, like every week or every month, look at businesses that are registering, and they look at some, if they find out that their vision, the vision for that business match their own vision, they actually give them grants and give them support, all kind of help to help the business succeed. Why? Because they have common goals. So that's good. All right. So want to thank Mr. Debbie. Mr. Debbie is joining us today. Laura is on the phone. Focus, do the glow. All right, I like that. Focus, do the glow. And then hi from Crown Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope we're able to give you some information that will help you develop your business. Just like we discussed at that time, no matter what you do, it's always good to have a side business. Try and get a business. And if there's any time to start a new business, this is the time because opportunities are there. So, Ms. Glenn, do you have anything to add to that? The importance of having businesses, getting good business?
No, you said it all.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, you said it all.
All right, thank you. All right, so today we're going to go into the main topic today. We're going to talk about some of the more fundamental things that make your business succeed. We're talking about 3 things today. What are they?
People.
Yes.
Process.
Yes.
Product.
You have your people, you have your process, you have the product. These are some of the more fundamental things that will make your business to succeed. So I'm going to start with the clue that Glenda gave us, which is the people. Who are the people? Because one person cannot run a business. One person cannot run a business.
True.
You have your associates, you have your staff, you have your chain of distribution people. You also have your customers. These are all the people that come to make your business work. If you have a business and you don't have customers, guess what?
No business.
You're just having a sit out. That's called a sit out. You just open your business and you're just sitting out. Just enjoying the sit out. You might as well just put on the TV and watch the game. We'll give a shout out to the Braves. The Braves are in the World Series this year. After 19 years. So yeah, we're going to give them all the support. They said you give your team, your home team, support. I can't remember that song now. Take me out to the ball game, Yeah, so we're going to practice that song and sing it, as we go along, maybe before we finish the series. So your people are critical. And then there's a statement I made one time when somebody was saying that they can't get good employees. I don't believe that they are bad employees. That is what I personally believe. Do you know what I think? What I think it is? There are employers who are not ready. Employers who are not ready for the employees.
That's true. That is very true.
Because if the employer is ready for the employee, guess what? You go through the process of hiring, figure out what kind of employees you want, and then we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and so on and so forth. Now, you can also have unwilling employees. If the employee is not willing to work, hey, there's nothing you can do. You see, I see the relationship between employers and employee as that of a marriage between a man and a wife. Because when you remember, you're married, right?
Yes.
You remember when you went to the altar? What was the question they asked you there? They said, do you? Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay. If they said, do you? And he said, no, I don't. Guess what's going to happen?
You don't get married.
That will be the end of the ceremony. Everybody will go their own way. You eat your cake to whatever, but there will be no wedding. There will be no wedding. There will be nothing. Why? Because both of you decided you were going to get into it. The same thing also happens when it comes to marriage. Two people has to be willing. Sorry, when it comes to having an employee. Two people, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Two people. The employer and the employee have to be willing to do something. They have to work together. So that's one of the first things. So when you want to hire your people, these are some of the things you have to do. I don't care whether you're hiring your brother, you're hiring your mother, you're hiring your father, your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, whoever you're hiring. Make sure, number one, they fill out an application. This is the process. You fill out an application. An application is a formal documentation that you are interested in doing the work. We just thought about willing. I mean, if you don't fill application, they say, oh, well, I didn't want to do the work anyway. You're the one that just called me. I was trying to help you. That's why you do application. You do your application. Number 2, you do your interview. At your interview, that's where you lay out expectations. These are the expectations from you. This is exactly what I needed to do for me. And this is what I'm going to pay you. So that argument, that conversation doesn't come up somewhere when things begin to go hard, because sometimes it's going to go hard. So you do your interview, and after you do your interview, what's the next thing? You write your letter of employment. The letter of employment, the engagement letter, or whatever letter you want to call it, that tells you exactly what the offer is. So what you guys already discussed is now in paper. All right? After the letter of employment, you also give what? Job description. So that every time they say, well, that's not my work. Am I supposed to be doing this? Oh, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing today. It's a job description. Honey, where's your job description? So that tells you what you're supposed to be doing. Now, after you do those steps, you bring the patient and the employee in. What do you want to do? You want to do orientation. You want to welcome them to the office, show them a little bit of how the office is set up, the procedure and all of that. After that, what's the next thing? Training. So you now give specific guidelines on how to do the job. What do we do? What do we say in our office? What is that mantra we say in our office?
Know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
That's what the training does. The training tells your employee what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Otherwise, you don't have, or you're going to have a situation. So once you've done that, so now this one is going to take us to the process. Okay, so I don't know, do you have anything else to say about the people situation?
No, you just hit on all the topics.
So I'm hitting it.
Yes, you are.
Now some of the questions here, can you read some of the questions here?
So,
the people, yeah.
So when the people are starting their business, they always want to look at, they want to understand who the people are in the business, who actually is running the business. Because the owner started the business, but it's employees, like you said, you got to connect, because those are the ones actually putting in the physical work to push your dream, your business.
She raised a very critical key there. And a lot of people don't know that. You see, Home Depot is one of the largest businesses in Georgia. It was actually started in Georgia by some guy, Otto Blank. He also owns the Atlanta Falcons. All right. Wow. So now you have several Home Depots today, and you have employees doing the job, right?
Yes.
So those are your people. It is not the owner that does it. If you go to a church, for example, it is not the pastor that does everything. There are people. There's front office. There's ushers. There's deacon board. So this is what comes together to make it. So your people have to be in place. All right. So there's another thing that you start over there too.
Yes. It says the relationship. Like, you want to know what the relationship with the customer and the employees is, the customer with the owner is.
Customer service.
And another great point, that's going to bring us to customer service. The type of service your client receives is a reflection of the training and also the relationship and also the vision of the owner. Because the owner has to pass the vision to the employees. The employees have to capture that, the whole essence of what the business is about, in order to provide good customer service. If you don't have that, it's not going to happen. All right, let's move on to the next one, which takes us to the process. The process. So I want to tell us about the process.
So how does the company deliver the product or service to their customers?
See, the process. So we just move from people to process. So this talks about how you serve your customers. Yes. And what is my key thing about customer service is to first establish the expectation of your client. If I go to a burger shop, I think I used that the other day, and I'm buying one sandwich, I expect it to be what?
Lettuce,
Uh-huh.
bread, tomato,
Onion, pickle,
mayonnaise.
Oh,
The essentials for your sandwich.
That is the expectation. That is the minimum you can give to your patient. I mean, to your client.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the other day I was watching the news, and the guy literally shot somebody because the sandwich or the burger was missing ketchup. It was missing ketchup. The guy brought his gun out and shot somebody. So what am I saying? There's expectation. You may think it's little, but that is what they came for. Now, in order to make this happen, there has to be processes. Processes have to be in place. There has to be a system in place to deliver your goods or your services. This includes the training that we talked about. Training includes providing the needed equipment. It also include the right environment. So the supply chain. Your supply chain, because now, see, because of what is happening out in the seas, if you look at it in the seas, you still talking about, we still have the issues with the ships that can't dock. We're having supply chain issue. Last week, we talked about a owner or manager having a vision, being able to see what's going to happen in the future so you can plan ahead. This is part of what makes you a successful business person. And part of this is studying your supply chain. See what's going on. What are the trends? What is happening? What is the forecast? And based on that, you can plan. So as part of the process of delivering your goods and services, all of this has to be lined up. How they work, how they run, and so on and so forth, so that you don't miss anything. And back to the issue of meeting your basic expectation of the customer. If you're going to remain in business, you have to meet the expectation of the customer. Now, if you exceed your expectation of your customers, guess what? That takes you high up. And that's why reviews are very, very critical. You have Google reviews, you have customers' feedback, and so on and so forth. Very critical to make it happen. Yes. All right. So what's the next one? Is there anything else you want to add on the process before we go to the product?
No, that's basically what you just said again. All the things that go around actually delivering the product to the or service.
Yes. And finally, the product, which has to do with what? The product?
With your
presentation. So how you deliver your product, how you present it, that is what is like the icing on the cake.
Yes, that is true. That is so true. You don't want to go to a sandwich shop that has a plain old bread sandwich on the front. You want something that grabs your attention.
Yes. Or the place is dirty. You come over there, the employees are just sitting down talking about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and so on and so forth, talking about all kinds of personal stuff that has nothing to do with delivering the product. So everything works together.
Yes.
To make your business successful. This may be little things. Some people may not take it very seriously. Like last week, we talked about making sure that you open your door at the time it says your door will be open.
Yes.
If your opening time says 10 a.m. and 10:30, you just say, well, I'm just going to take it easy today. You're not ready yet. All right. So as we conclude, just a summary, one of the key things that make your business successful is the people. And then the process, the product. And you as an owner, you got to be ready to do the work. You have to grind to make sure all of these are happening. Every step of the way, every junction, you got to make sure all of this is happening. All right, so I want to say hello to Jenny Jean Giraffe. Giraffe. I love giraffe because giraffe very tall. Okay. Try PPY Jazzy. Thank you all so much for joining today. It's a good thing. I'm hoping you guys are doing something about your business. I'm hoping you are getting some information here about your business. Now, for those who are just joining us, we are talking about the 3 P's that make business successful: the people, the process, and the product. We're going to put a copy of this podcast today on our YouTube page. And to find it, or to find us on YouTube, just hashtag The Good with Dr. Joe. The Good with Dr. Joe right here. What do you see? The Good with Dr. Joe. So once you hashtag that, it will pull out all our videos. This business series is going to continue, as we head into the holiday season. All right. Any last word to add before we end this exciting series
yes.
today?
You are the most important person in building your business because you are the head of the whole structure. And without you, there is no business. So, yes, start a business.
That is the hammer on everything else. That is the hammer right there. You are your business. You can't separate. Remember we were talking about soul proprietorship the other day? Mm-hmm. That's where the concept comes from. If the business fail, it's because of what you did or what you didn't do. So please, as a business owner, remember that. And we look forward to seeing you again. And to catch us, we're on Instagram,
Facebook,
YouTube,
Spotify,
Amazon,
and
iHeartRadio is hashtag The Good with
Dr. Joe.
See you next time. Thank you for joining. Hasta la vista.